It's not doing too well in the session today. It's down about 10 or 11% on last count. JSPL will come up on your screen, 147, so 10% lower in the session. And in a bit, we'll get in the management of JSPL as well. I think Ravi Uppal, MD and Group CEO JSPL, joins us right now on the show. Good having you, Mr. Uppal. Thanks for joining in. First things first, are you disappointed and even surprised at the re-auction decision?
Well, we are obviously very disappointed and saddened by the government decision not to accept our bids from the auction process. I do not know as of this moment what government intends to do, if they will go for re-auction or they have some other alternative plan of action.
Mr. Uppal, hi, morning. So will JSPL be looking to challenge this decision or consider a legal recourse for the same?
Well, it's too early for me to say anything. That our management board will be meeting next week, and we will look at the various options. What we are basically concerned is that we have about 4,000 megawatt of capacity, which is dependent on the two blocks, where we were the most competitive bidders. And, it's a matter of obviously a great anxiety to us how we are going to get the coal supply for a power plant that we have commissioned long back. And mind you that one of the power plants, which was to get the coal from this, is the first 1,000 megawatt project which was commissioned in this country. So we would like to see that this capacity fully operationalized. These power plants are not only part of JSPL, but they're also part of the national asset. So therefore, we would obviously want to see that the assets have been fully operational.
Is it strange that JSPL won 3 coal blocks in the auction process and all 3 have been sent for the re-auction, Mr. Uppal?
That first, I must make a correction. We do not know if the government wants to take it for a re-auction or if they have something else in their mind to do. So that's not evident. That I don't want to get into any kind of speculations. The only thing I could say is that we have put in bids which were very competitive. Just to remind you that the government, before the auction process started, they fixed something called a ceiling price. And here, this is the case of bid for the power plants, therefore is the lowest bid which is to be considered. The ceiling prices which were indicated to us for Karyaparma 2 and 3 was 700, and for the Tara block it was 940. As against those, we have finally quoted minus 108 and minus 126. This essentially means that we sort of climbed down in one case by 808 rupees, in the other case by 1046. So I simply fail to understand why anyone should complain the prices, not being competitive or being low. And the second thing that I like to mention here is that each block is unique. It doesn't make any sense to compare them. Even if you take the power blocks, the factors which are specific to each block which is under auction are very unique. Whether the blocks are operational, running, or they're yet to be developed is one major factor. The second is the strip ratio. Third is the distance. Fourth is the net calorific value of the coal that you mine. And there are several other factors which are very site-specific. And the only thing I could say is that, when we supply coal, giving this kind of premium to government is going to be extremely difficult for us or for anyone who's quoted even, price more than this to stay competitive. Because at the government's...
Right. Mr. Uppal, the government has cited the reason for this move as the highest bidder does not reflect fair value. Does this now seem invalid as the ceiling price for the block was set by the government themselves?
Yes, but that is something we are unable to understand. I hope that we will have a chance to speak to the government in the days to come. If we have an opportunity, we'd like to sort of clarify our viewpoint to the government. And I'm sure that the government will definitely give us an audience and take a reasonable decision. I must say that the government, Ministry of Coal and Power, is extremely progressive government. They have taken multiple initiatives on various fronts, and I'm sure that the good sense and prudence should prevail in this case as well.
Having said that, have you been given any kind of explanation by the government for the cancellation of the coal blocks? And are you currently engaged in any discussion with the ministry on this?
Well, we haven't got any discussion going with the ministry as yet. Of course, it will be our endeavor and our desire that the government should give us a chance to come and explain to them, engage in a dialogue. Maybe if we have a discussion with them, we can know each other's perspectives and also try to find a common ground.
Mr. Uppal, but what we're picking up from ministry sources is that these blocks will be re-auctioned. Is it a small relief that at least the blocks are not going to be handed over to Coal India or state governments?
Well, I have not heard anything from the government as yet, whether they want to re-auction that or they want to sort of give it away to state governments, Coal India. I think this information they should make it public in the days to come. That is one. And but I just hope that even before they take such a decision, they give us a chance to speak to them and get across our viewpoint on this. And I personally feel the offer that we made, the state government, the central government will derive huge benefits. We have calculated the extent of benefit they will get. The prices that we quoted to them is in the range of about 58,000 crores from the Tara as well as the Gare Parma 2 and 3 blocks. The state governments will benefit, the consumers will benefit, because please remember that the coal that we have quoted is at -108 and -126. This basically means that when it comes to the energy charge, we will be charging the coal price as zero. So there cannot be anything better for the consumer than what we have already offered. In addition to that, the premium, -126 and -18 will be going to the state government. And Nitya, there's one very important thing I'd like to mention here, that our power stations are located in the state of Chhattisgarh. And both the mines which are in question, they are in Chhattisgarh. So all the power plants which are there in Chhattisgarh and using the local coal, they also supply 7.5% of their power output to the state government, whereby they make a huge saving and a huge earning. That would not be available to them if a bidder, sort of comes from outside and they try to use take the coal away out of the state.
Right.
So I think both government of Chhattisgarh and the central government must to gain giving the mines to a company like JSPL.
Fine, but Mr. Uppal, if it does actually come down to re-auctions, do you think that this time you may have to put in more aggressive bids for the block, or what you bid originally, is that the best that JSPL can do?
Well, it is too early to talk about these options. I think that we have to think of some other solutions. And I would not be able to comment on this, whether if the re-auction is done, JSPL will do or they won't do. I think, so therefore these things are a bit too early to say on. And let's wait and watch. And let's hope that a more amicable solution is found and JSPL is able to get back the coal blocks for which it had competed and was the lowest bidder for.
Mr. Uppal, given that it fuels your operation, 1,000 megawatt plant, how significant exactly is the Gare Palma 4x2 and 3 blocks for the company?
Well, we have a total installed capacity of 3,500 megawatt at Tamnar, which consists of the phase 1, 1,000 megawatt and 2,400 megawatt from the 4 new units of 600 megawatt each. And we had quoted for Gare Parma 2 and 3 and Tara to make sure that for our EUP 1 and EUP 3, we are able to tie up the coal. So therefore, supply of coal from these mines is very vital to the operation of these plants. And therefore, if we don't get the coal, it will certainly have adverse impact on the plant load factor that we have. We, of course, will look at other options whereby we will try to organize the coal supply. But if we could get it from these mines, that would be the natural choice. And we, for the last 7 years, we've been operating the 1,000 megawatt plant out of the Gare Parma 2 and 3. We developed this mine. We have set up a pipe conveyor, 6 kilometers long, to bring the coal from the pit head up to the power plant. And the washery is also set up. So it's a functioning asset. I mean, the present government is working so hard to see all the stalled projects, become functional. But here we have a project which is functioning. I see no reason that any such thing should be done so which will cause a functioning project to become a stalled project.
Okay, Mr. Uppal, understand we have to let you go, but thanks so much for joining me today and giving us that all-round perspective. Well, he's pretty much stuck to what he can say, 10% off, exploring other options, but too early to speak about those at this point of time. The stock certainly bleeding in the session today, 10.3% down. Now let's get in somebody who's in the industry, but not impacted either positively or negatively as a result of these cancellation and reallocations of coal blocks. Mr. G.D. Mundra, whole-time director, Sarda Energy and Minerals, joins us right now on the show as well to speak about his sense of this. Good having you, Mr. Mundra. Thanks so much for joining in our studios, firstly. And what do you make of this? I mean, this reallocation that has happened of certain coal blocks because the prices were found to be slightly lower than what the initial estimates would have been. Companies are clearly saying that they are surprised by this.
It was really surprising for us also because the company participated in a transparent process